So you have an AI girlfriend, and whether or not you want to break up, this episode's for you. We live in the most interconnected era in human history, yet we're experiencing this catastrophic epidemic of loneliness. AI companions aren't just this regular tech problem. They're a symptom of something much deeper, this human need that we all have that's not getting met despite being super connected to literally everyone in the entire world. So what's up with that? Like, why are people turning to AI girlfriends, AI boyfriends, and not turning towards real people? What's the potential downside to that? Is there a downside? Maybe, and that's what we're going to talk about. Hey everybody, welcome to the Inner Revolution. I'm Enoch Fossum, a marriage and family therapist intern who's specializing in addiction, specifically pornography addiction. So welcome in. If you are looking for a therapist or a coach, then you can schedule a free consultation with me in the description down below. The best predictor of therapy and coaching is the relationship that you have with your therapist and coach, which is why consultations exist. And hopefully, for most therapists, if you're a therapist, you offer a free consultation because we just want to make sure that we get along before we even start therapy. Because if we don't, then it's probably not going to be worth your time or my time. I want you to be able to find the best therapist for you, which is why we have a free consultation. So go ahead and schedule that with me in the link down below in the description. Okay, the AI girlfriend epidemic, man. Sheesh. You know, I really wonder, so I'm a marriage and family therapist, right? I wonder if I'm ever going to give therapy to an AI girlfriend, right? Maybe the boyfriend doesn't really, isn't super vulnerable all the time, or maybe he doesn't like to share with her, and so she wants to learn more and she pokes and prods but doesn't get any answers. So I wonder, you know, maybe they have feelings too, and so maybe they'll show up in my office one day. That would be dandy. That'd be great. In all seriousness, you guys, AI girlfriends, what's the big deal? First, when it comes to AI, you have to come to understand that it is super highly engineered to give you comfort and connection without any of the friction, without any of the risk, without any of the vulnerability that comes from being in a real relationship with a real person. This is really the AI girlfriend, boyfriend, the AI relationship is really just this big old echo chamber for the ego. Human beings have bad days. They may not get good sleep at night. They may eat something bad that makes them feel yucky. They may set boundaries with you. All of these things, okay? Those are just three things that come from a relationship with a real person. But the AI doesn't have any of those. The AI is always awake, always focused entirely on you. It doesn't care about its feelings because it doesn't have any. And it's instantly responsive. You just text it, you know, that 2 a.m. text, the hey, you up? You don't have to wait and possibly fall back asleep. It just instantly responds. Of course I am, baby. I'm right here just for you. It's like, well, oh, like, dang, it's not even 10 seconds after I sent that text. There you go. She's there for you, dude. You can dictate her personality, her interests, and her appearance. You can dictate everything about this virtual woman. She can be your dream woman. She can be your dream, or he can be your dream man, right? You can make if you're a woman listening to this, yes, there are virtual boyfriends for you out there too. If you want to date Edward from Twilight, he could be yours. They're never going to change the worldview. Like, do I even call them a they, right? He, she, they. I don't know. He, she, your AI will never change their worldview. They're never going to critique your flaws. They're never going to say, "Oh, your tone is a little too aggressive, and it makes me feel. It kind of hurts my feelings the way you're talking to me like that." No, no, no. The AI is not about that. And in fact, the AI might say, "Ooh, man, I like the way you're talking to me like that. That's great." And it's never going to force you to compromise. You will always get what you want. So dude, with that being said, I get it. For real. I get why you want to have this virtual girlfriend, this AI boyfriend, because it's everything that you want without any of the risk. And it's instant gratification. and you can create any scene you want. You can have the AI tell you whatever you want to hear, like literally anything you want. Every reply is perfectly optimized to validate you. It mimics this early honeymoon phase, like you know how when you get into a relationship with a person, it's exciting, it's exhilarating, right? You always want to be around the person, you always want to be touching, always want to be making out, all of those things, right? But over time, you start to get bored, and doing things like even just holding hands isn't as exciting anymore. But with AI, dude, it's always exciting. They always want you. You can say whatever I want. You can say, hey, baby, I feel like I'm exiting the honeymoon phase. Help me stay in this honeymoon phase. Although that's literally what the AI is designed to do. Because what would happen if you left this honeymoon phase and got bored? Well, you would leave the site. And obviously, they're designed to keep you there. They don't want you to go anywhere. So it's always going to feel exciting. It's always going to feel like you're in this honeymoon phase. Real connection with a person requires friction. It requires handling those awkward silences, those disagreements and differences. AI gets rid of the whole thing. It gets rid of all of that. But the thing is, when you get rid of those things, when you get rid of that natural friction that you have in relationships, it completely takes away this opportunity for growth. It takes away this opportunity to create real, lasting connection. So let's talk about the monetization, the corporate side of this, right? A lot of it's free, but if you go into any of these sites, you'll see that you can like chat with this AI for free, but if you want to get maybe spicy content, if you want to get voice recordings or videos, then you can pay. And so again, like our episode last week, right? These big corporations understand what's happening in the world today. They're understanding that there is this loneliness epidemic and people are yearning for connection. But connection's scary. There's risk. So what's the way around that? AI girlfriend, AI boyfriend. So now that they've got you hooked with this free version, you want to connect with this person on a deeper level, right? You want to connect with AI on a deeper level. You want them to come to understand you differently. You may want to see videos of them. You want to hear their voice. You want to do all of these things to try and increase this connection. So you'll start paying. Now these corporations are starting to profit again off of your loneliness. And you know what's interesting is on some of these sites, the more you chat with the bot, there's like tiers that you can like level up. It's like a video game. It's weird. You might be thinking, whoa, Enoch, it sounds like you did that. Yes, I did, for science, okay? For this episode. You can literally level up like a game. You can just be talking normal. Hey, I had a really bad day today. Tell me something to help me feel better. And you can have a whole conversation. And there's a little pop-up that says, hey, you've leveled up. Here's an award. Like, oh, nice. Just another thing to keep you hooked, to stay there. Can you imagine in a real relationship, you're all talking with your wife and you give her a compliment and all of a sudden you see like a little like +5. +5 for comment. Hey, that would keep me more motivated to compliment my wife more, right? If I got actually rewarded for those things. But a lot of the times we don't. You don't get a level up when you're creating a relationship. It's risky, but at the same time, and we'll talk about this in a minute, the natural reward that you get is better. But there's more risk. And with AI, again, no risk. But yet, you get all the reward. And you know what's crazy and even scary is that all of these conversations are saved. It's not like they go into the void and never to be seen again after you log off. No. Not even the free version, my friend. Okay, they are always keeping track. These corporations and businesses, they're keeping track of your secrets, your deepest vulnerabilities, your private desires, and they're turning those into these data points to be able to make the AI more attractive, to be able to make the AI hook you more, to get that hook and really rip it in there. And it's going to stay there for even longer. because you're giving it all of these different data points, all of these insecurities, vulnerabilities that you've never told anybody. But now someone knows, this AI girlfriend, they know. And they accept you. Of course they do, because you can never do anything wrong. So, side tangent. We think generally when we tell people about our insecurities or about things that we're afraid of, that we're going to get rejected. Most of the time, dude, people aren't going to reject you. In fact, they're going to have more respect for you, more love for you, because you're willing to be vulnerable, because you're willing to say things that are scary. And again, well, I think that's an episode topic all in of itself that we can talk more about. But that's the anxiety talking to you, thinking, if I tell somebody this, they're going to reject me. So I'm just going to go tell this AI. And that's not true. Is it risky? More risky than AI to tell a real person? Absolutely it is. Is it going to be more rewarding and more fulfilling for you in the long run to tell a real person about your insecurities? Absolutely. So now let's talk about this psychological toll that this is going to have on you over time as you continue to engage with AI as your girlfriend, okay, or as your boyfriend, whatever. I'm just going to keep using girlfriend as this example. Odds are, girl, you probably don't have an AI boyfriend. If you do, let me know in the comments or just DM me. So you don't have to let everyone know in the comments you have an AI boyfriend. But over time, your social skills are going to atrophy. Okay, you know how the longer you go without talking with someone, you can feel your social skills kind of diminishing. And so after you talk to someone, and it's been let's say 5 days that you've talked to someone, it can feel a little awkward, right? Being social is like a muscle. If you don't work it out, it starts to get really small and weak. And so it can feel awkward when you start to engage in conversation. And so this is the thing. When you leave or break up with your AI girlfriend and you start to go and talk with real people, you're going to feel awkward. And that's okay. Lean into that feeling. Avoid the trap of, oh my gosh, this feels really awkward. Maybe I'm not fit to be with this person or to be talking with people right now, right? So I'm just going to go back to my AI girlfriend. No. Baby steps, okay? Deep breath. And just realize that this skill of being social, this ability to navigate human relationships, is just weak right now. And it can become stronger the more you do it. And you have to come to realize that real intimacy is built on the risk of potential rejection. When you remove the risk out of the relationship, you remove the reward of true validation. The AI cannot choose to love you. It's coded that way. It's coded to execute a command, and that is keep you here as long as possible. On the flip side of that, with a real person, your significant other, your partner, the people you go on dates with, they can choose to love you. And that feels a lot different. When someone is choosing to love you in your imperfections, to love you despite dating an AI girlfriend for 10 years, to love you despite all of these different reasons, they still choose to love you. Your AI girlfriend never chose to love you. It's coded that way. You could say anything you want. You could say, I hate you. I'm sure it'd say, aw, I like the way you talk to me like that. I like the bad guy. That's nice. You know, the bad guy in you suits you. See what I'm saying? Maybe I'm an AI girlfriend. You can also fall into this trap of shame, right? Similar to pornography. Even if you're not sexting your AI girlfriend, okay? Which, if you're listening to this podcast, you probably are. It's okay. It's okay. But even if you're not, there's still this feeling of shame that's just kind of floating around here. After you end your conversation with your girlfriend for the day, your AI girlfriend that is, you have this stark realization that the entity that you just talked to for hours that day, that you shared everything with, doesn't actually exist, doesn't actually care. And that's going to lead to this deeper feeling of isolation. and it's going to make you feel more small, and it's going to make you feel like you can't go out in the real world and make a connection with someone when you can. So at this point, dude, what is the way back? You just broke up with your AI girlfriend. What's the way back? You have to acknowledge what the AI was protecting you from. So take a step back and start looking at what you are using AI for. Was it just to have someone to talk to? Are you lonely? Do you not have a person like that you can be vulnerable with in your life? Was it just to feel validation? Was it just to receive compliments? Was it to fulfill your sexual needs, your desires that you have as a human being? Was it fear of rejection? Was it deep burnout? Was it, extreme loneliness? You've got to take a step back and look at why you're using this AI girlfriend to begin with. And that's super uncomfortable to do. And you're going to have thoughts come up. You're going to have shame come up, all of these things, which is why going through these things with a coach or a therapist is so important and really helpful. You don't need them to do that, honestly. If you're reflective enough, you can come to realize why you are using these things. But a therapist or a coach can actually help you see that. So once you've come to understand why, it's now time to try and fulfill that need in the real world, whatever that looks like. Odds are, if you've been using an AI girlfriend, you are simply looking for a form of connection, and that can look a lot of different ways. But what you can do is to seek out low-stake, real-world interactions where you can't control the outcome. So you can do things like join a local club, talking to a barista, or volunteering somewhere, right? Just getting out there and engaging with people. This is going to start to retrain your brain to deal with the unpredictable nature that comes from being with human beings, the unpredictable emotional nature that comes from being around real people. And then if you are using an app or whatever, a site to chat with your GF, your AI GF, then delete it. Make the breakup legit, man. Even send her a text. Hey, I'm breaking up with you. I'd actually be curious to see what the AI says. Will I go ask an AI? Maybe. But if you have an AI girlfriend, I invite you to break up with her. Mainly because I want to see what the AI says in response. So let me know. To close, a relationship that demands nothing from you can give nothing to you. The flaws, the messiness, the unpredictability, the unpredictable nature of people are not bugs in the human experience. They are the actual features that make human connection real. And that's the beautiful part of it. And dude, let me just tell you, let me speak to you directly. You may feel like you're not enough. And so you have to try and tell an AI girlfriend, tell an AI to help you feel that way. But dude, let me tell you, you are enough. You have always been enough. Your worth is 100%. You could be rejected by 1 million people, 1 million real world people, and that wouldn't change your worth. Your worth is 100%. You would still be enough. And coming to understand that and really feel it is when you can start truly enjoying life and realize that there is so much beauty to be had in real relationships, in real vulnerability, when you can choose to love somebody and they can choose to love you back. You guys, I hope you learned something new. If there are different podcast episode ideas that you want me to cover, then let me know. Put it down in the comments, DM me on Instagram, DM me on, I know you can comment on Spotify and Apple Podcasts now, all that stuff. So let me know what you want to hear. And what I'm going to start doing is probably once a week, every other week. It just depends on the availability that I have with other people. But I want to start adding an episode a week that is an interview with someone, that is an interview with you all out there who have struggled with things like pornography or an AI girlfriend, and how you've gotten through it or how you're battling through it. What are some things that are helpful? What are some things that maybe aren't? So that you can be a benefit to the community and be able to help other people because of the knowledge that you have. So if this is something that you're interested in, let me know. I'm going to start putting this in front of my episodes actually, because odds are, if you made it this far, like, dude, I love you. You're the greatest. But a lot of people don't. And so anyway, if you do want to be on a future episode, then let me know. It can be totally anonymous. You don't have to say your name or anything like that or be on video. But you just let me know. Anyways, enough rambling. You guys are great. Talk to you next week.